What's up, guys? Just got back from Blizzcon and had so many questions about Mythic Raiding and the new raid structure that World of Warcraft is going to be going to come Warlords of Draenor. So first off, the first clip that I showed you was how it is and how it's going to be. So the next thing that you do have to understand is that, with this new raid structure, what are they really doing? What's the pros and the cons? Who's benefiting? Who it affects? So let's get right into all of that, because I've had a lot of people, really have a mixed bag of feelings on this. So I wanted to hammer out some of the more important points so that you guys kind of understand, what's really going on and who this is actually going to affect. I hate to tell you guys, but this is actually an amazing, amazing upgrade for the WoW community and for raiding as a whole. So I'm going to start off by talking about who this affects. Well, obviously it affects any heroic raiding guild, okay? So your top 200, top 300, top 400, 10, 25-man guilds, anyone who dips their toes into heroic raiding the way that it currently stands is going to be affected by this. And here was the biggest thing that really bugged me at BlizzCon was when I was there listening to the Q&A portion, so many people were so just outraged by this Mythic Raiding. And then, the panel would ask, well, what is your current raid progression? And they'd be like, well, I'm 8 of 14 normal. Let me explain something to you. If you're a normal mode raider currently in a 10 or a 25-man, Mythic Raiding does not affect you at all. You are still going to have normal modes and heroic modes that you can work through. By the time the new patch comes out, if you're barely getting through normal modes now and you're like just dipping your toes into heroics, Mythic Raiding is not going to affect you. The only time it's going to affect you is if you are a heroic progression guild that is trying to, go into heroic raiding, go into the hardest level of raiding that there is in World of Warcraft. So what they've done is they've renamed, Raid Finder stays the same, okay? Flex raiding is now going to be called normal raiding. It's going to be roughly the same difficulty as Flex is now. This is going to be normal mode raiding. This makes sense. They've also done it so they're not using the LFR loot system. They're using the, pass out loot system based on eligible players. So what this means, if you have a toon who needs to come in for a certain fight because he has better DPS or whatever, you may not be eligible for loot, but it's not going to affect everyone else in the game who's playing with your group. What this is going to allow you to do is this is going to allow normal mode raid groups the ability to go in, get loot, and progress through content as their gear goes, and as their gear gets better, they can start cycling in alts, they can start cycling in other players to really try to get this going. But the nice thing is it uses the flex mode system. Okay, so the flex mode system says, okay, well, 2 people just left, 2 DPS DC'd. Okay, well, if you're in a normal 10-man or 25-man group right now, you're sitting and waiting, you're trying to find subs, it's just a pain in the butt. Well, now you're fine. You can have 12 people. So if you're a 10-man, you can have those bench guys are now in, everybody is raiding. Okay, if you're a 25-man, if somebody doesn't show up, or if a couple people DC, or they're going to be late, it's not a big deal. The boss will scale according to how many people you have. The loot will scale according to how many people you have. So what this allows is it allows for a wider array of players to see more content in the game, which is ultimately what Blizzard wants. Okay, they don't want to make all these fights and then have nobody see them. There's no point in making them. They also don't want to make all these fights and have to make 17 different difficulties of these fights and then listen to everybody complain about, well, this fight's easier in 10-man, this fight's harder in 10-man, blah, 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 blah. They don't want to hear that either. So what you're going to have is you're going to have your normal mode raid groups who are then going to step into heroics. Now, heroics are now going to work with the flex system. Okay, so if you have 15 to 16 people or 15 to 16 friends and you're clearing flex no problem, now you have somewhere to go. If you're doing normal modes right now with your 10 guys and let's say you have 2 bench players or you have a couple people that you want to try out, you can do this because it's all cross-server, okay? The only one that's not cross-server current content is Mythic Raiding. So if you have a couple of guys who you want to trial, let's say, or you want to trial with a new guild who's working their way through the new heroic modes, you just invite them via, as long as they're the same faction, you invite them via cross-realm, via real ID, and they can come in and raid with you without having to spend the money to transfer so that you can see if that raider's a good fit for you or if that player enjoys your raid style, your leadership style as a guild, your community as a guild. You get to find these things out without making that huge commitment, okay, of I'm leaving my guild, I'm jumping over to your server, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. It allows you to do that, to actually go in and see what the difference is and actually go in and raid with these people. And again, same thing. The boss scales accordingly. The gear scales according to eligible players. So if you have a guy come in who says, oh, well, I didn't get the first 2 bosses, and they're on farm mode for you, well, you can bring in a couple of alts, you can, go back through and clear them, and he's eligible for loot. So if you can get some loot to drop, for that guy, the more the better, right? Now, obviously, there's going to be some issues where people are going to bring a bunch of alts and then a main raider who are already saved, or they're going to bring in a bunch of main raiders who are already saved and just clear out for another main raider to try to get him as much loot as possible, because if he's the only one eligible, he'll obviously get loot. I don't know how they're going to fix that yet. Obviously, it's still very early to tell. So let's not really divulge into how we're going to scumbag that system quite yet. We'll wait until it hits PTR before we can completely tear that system apart and really find out what different ways we're going to be able to optimize those rating tiers. Okay, but Mythic Raiding, let's get into this, okay? What Mythic Raiding is really going to do is your heroic 10-man guilds, that's who the task is most daunting for, is your heroic 10-man guilds the way it currently works, okay? Because they have to now double their roster. However, if you're a heroic 10-man guild, you probably have a bench of 2 or 3 players. At least 2 or 3 players, possibly 4 to 5. Typically, if you're running a heroic 10-man group today, you have 12 to 15 players that you can bring in depending on class fight, etc., who needs gear, whatever. So understand that now all those people will be in. You do have to recruit some more, but you don't have to recruit as much as some people might think. Well, they've got to recruit at least 10 players, blah, blah. It might not be that bad. The other thing that you have to understand is if you have a group of people who, some old guild that you've raided with, or there's a bunch of guys, or another 10-man on the server who's really competitive with you, maybe you can join forces, and going into 6.0, you guys can be a new Mythic Raid team. Okay, for 25-mans, again, what this is going to do is pretty much they're going to be dropping their bench. Okay, 25-man raid groups, the smartest way to play it is you take your top 25 players and you drop your bench. And then you have an alt for 4 or 5 of them so that they can all switch in different characters, whether you need an extra healer for a fight, whether you need, a third tank for a certain fight, whether you need a little bit more DPS for a fight. You will probably see a comeback of really strongly geared alts, especially with the way that heroic mode and normal mode are going to work, especially in those earlier tiers. Okay, so you might see that. You might see the 20-man Mythic Raiders really drop their roster to around 25. I would say 25 would probably be right around the maximum, because you're never going to get everybody in otherwise. And with the heroic rating system as it is, it's going to be interesting to see the competition amongst the 25-man team to see who makes the 20-man roster. I honestly think what it will be about 25 players on a Mythic team roster, and that should be about sufficient. Some may have a couple more, some may have a couple less, depending on their availability and their ability to show up for every raid, what their attendance is like, etc., etc. But let's go into, guys, what this means, okay? What does Mythic Raiding mean? In all reality, Mythic Raiding is going to do a lot more good than it is bad, okay? And here's what I mean by that. You're going to be able to tune the fights to the hardest difficulty they could possibly be tuned to, and you don't have to worry about them being significantly easier or harder in 10 or 25-man. There will be one difficulty. What this means is if you want the hardest content, you've got it. Because this is the hardest they can make it because it's been tuned to one difficulty only. This is everything that they've got. They're throwing it at you every single fight. This is an amazing, amazing idea that they've came up with, okay? Secondly, ranking. What rank is your guild in the world? What rank is your guild in the US? What rank is your guild in the EU? Now you're going to know, because there's not a 10, there's not a 25, it's everybody's in one category. So you might be, right now, a US top 50 25-man. Well, come Mythic, you might be a US top 100 guild. That just might be where you end up. That might be where your playstyle puts you. It really depends on how hard your raid team is willing to push. The other thing that this is going to do is for ranking systems, things such as World of Logs. If you really think that you're one of the top 20, 30, 40 players of your class, this is where you're going to get a chance to prove it by your ranking system. How many ranks can you consistently get? Are you consistently beating people with your same gear level, with your same item level, with your same progression level? You're going to be able to go in and see how you're doing against some of the best players in the world, because there's only one version of the fight that really matters to the most elite of the elite players. So if you're used to raiding in these heroic modes, this is what is going to be beneficial to you. The other thing that you're going to see with Mythic Raiding is way more competition, okay? It is going to be an ultra-competitive environment to the point where it's going to be a lot more fun. If you're anything like me, guys, you play this game to be competitive. You play this game to be one of the best players out there, and in order to do that, you're going to have to mythically raid. That is the only way to get into it. That is the only thing you're going to want to do, because that's how you're going to prove your worth. Now, what this also means, guys, is there's also an easier progression ladder, okay? You start with your normal modes. Good. Our guild's got all the normal modes cleared. We farmed up all the gear out of there. Let's go into heroic modes. Okay, we're going into heroic modes. Our guild is, kicking ass. We're taking names. We've got 20 to 25 people who show up every week. Okay, we've got heroic modes cleared. Well, now those guilds that are clearing a couple heroics now can go into mythics. And they say, okay, well, how do we decide? We don't want players that sit on the bench. Well, that's where the competition comes into play, is now if you want to step into Mythic, you're bringing your top 20, and you might have a bench of a couple people, but that's not a bad thing. So what you're going to find is there's going to be more groups that end up forming and raiding and progressing further and further and getting better and better at the game because of the flex raid system being implemented here. You're going to get players who are going to learn, get that competitive feel, not have to sit on the bench so much, and still be able to raid, see all the fights, see all the encounters, get all the gear, and not have to wait for, the tank that's 20 minutes late. If there's another guy who can go, you're in. You don't need all 25 players. It'll scale down to you and get you through the encounters so that you're learning the fights and you're progressing at your own character pace. And this is an amazing, amazing talent for Blizzard to bring into their raiding system. Again, guys, this is going to be the main things with Mythic Raiding. I'm really, really excited about it. I think Mythic Raiding is exactly what this game needs. It's going to make them be able to tune these fights to ultra-competitive mode. These fights are going to be no joke because they don't have to worry about tuning them to 10 and 25 and spending all that extra time. This will also allow them to pump out raid content quicker, to test raid content cleaner and more effectively, because they don't have to tune it to 17 different levels like they currently have to. If you look at how many raids there are now, there is 6 different modes of raiding that you can go through. That is insane. Now there's going to be 1 top level instead of 2. There's going to be a medium level, and then there's going to be LFR, which is going to be LFR. LFR is going to be a tourist attraction where you pretty much ride on a bus and go see all the bosses, but that's what it is right now anyway, right? So no one really cares. What Raid Finder is designed to do is make it so that you can hop in on a Sunday afternoon and find a raid. Now, they're also bringing flex to Raid Finder, so if you have a couple people drop out, it's okay. The boss is going to tune down. If you do need a tank, you're still going to have to queue and wait for that tank. If you do need another healer with the amount of people that you have, they will queue you and wait for another healer. But the queue time in LFR is going to be incredibly faster because as long as you have the players there, it will pick a group, queue you in, and put you out. So you'll be able to get a lot more content done faster on all your alts. You will be able to get these normal mode raids are going to start. These heroic mode raid groups are going to start. You'll be able to do them with real ID friends. You'll see these groups kind of commence, and you'll see more guilds blossom out. And you'll also see more guilds hitting raid content, which I really think is what Blizzard wants. It makes sense. This system makes sense. I'm extremely excited about it and extremely happy for Blizzard for doing this. I want to see where exactly they go with it and see some minor details that come out. But overall, guys, my opinion on Flex is I'm gung-ho for it. I think it's going to be the best thing for the community. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, the footage that's playing is, just some random footage while I was talking over this. But I want to hear your guys' opinions, so please leave your opinions in the comments below. If you want to throw me a like or a sub, it always helps, guys. Make sure you're following the stream as well. I do stream Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on, and when we do raid. So if you have any other questions, feel free to stop by the stream and ask me or ask anybody in the chat. We're always more than happy to answer questions for you. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, see you in the next one.